Hello everyone, I'm Ricky and today I will be sharing with you my reading plans for June. It is Pride Month, which is why I'm wearing my rainbow shirt, and I'm so excited because there's so many different readathons going on this month and I really want to try to participate in as many of them as I can. There are two that I plan on participating in, and while my TBR is very ambitious, I'm confident that I will be able to read all these books in the month of June, even if I don't complete them within the time of the readathon. The first readathon that I will be participating in is the Queer Lit readathon. I will have all the information of the hosts and the announcement and the rules and all that fun stuff down below, but the Queer Lit readathon takes place from May 31st till June 6th, and there's a bingo board which I will put right here, and the goal is to complete that. So I will not be probably completing all the challenges just because I try to really only pick books that were on my TBR already, and I did make a book outlet order getting some of the books for this readathon, but it hasn't come yet, so I will be putting a lot of pictures on the screen. I also have some books that are at my apartment and I plan on going there tonight to get them, but I wanted to get this video done for you guys. So jumping right in, the first book that I'm going to be reading is for the prompt of reading a book that's a backlist title, and for that I will be reading I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. I'll also be using that book for the prompt to read a book with a rainbow cover. This is a book that I've been wanting to read for a long time and I just never got around to it, and I think the audiobook is available to me somehow either through Scribd or my library, so I do plan on listening to the audiobook for this. The next prompt is to read the group book, which is This Is What It Feels Like. I have ordered this from Book Outlet. It is on my way. It is on its way to me. I just don't have it right now, so here's a picture of it. The next prompt is to read a book following a group of friends, so queer friends, and for that I chose The Summer of Impossibility by Rachel Allen. And I don't know if the whole group of friends is queer in this book, but I do know the one girl comes out while they're staying at somebody's lake house, I think, over the summer. I don't know a whole lot about this book. I do know it's a new release and I'm really excited to jump into it and see how I feel because I haven't heard anybody talk about this. The next prompt is just the free space, and for this I chose Enemies to Lovers, and I will be reading Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I started reading this book right around the time when it was really hyped up and it came out, but I just wasn't feeling it. So I put it down, but I do own it and I want to finally read it during Pride this month. The next prompt is to read a book with a female over 40 years old, and for this I'm going to be rereading / re-listening to The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I just read Daisy Jones and the Six and it was so good, so I want to re-listen to Evelyn Hugo because that is one of my favorite books of all time and it's just time for a reread. Next prompt is to read a book that has summer vibes, and for me I will be rereading Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. I have audiobook out from the library. It is narrated by Lin-Manuel Miranda. That's how I read it the first time, was through audiobook, but I do plan on reading along with it this time because I don't believe I highlighted all my favorite things and all that the first time I read it, so I do look forward to rereading this because it's been I think 4 years since I read that book. The next prompt I will not be reading anything for, and it's just queer sports. I don't have anything on my shelves that fit this prompt and I didn't want to try to find something, and I don't really enjoy reading about sports. So the next prompt is to read a poetry book or collection. I have two options for this. I have Soft in the Middle on my Kindle, which I have had on my Kindle for a long time, and CC has been recommending that one a lot, so I really want to pick that up since I do have it. Editing Ricky here. In the next clip I keep saying Elizabeth Gibson, but I meant Elizabeth Bishop. Elizabeth Bishop was a lesbian poet, but she didn't consider herself a lesbian poet. I don't know. I think I found out about her on TikTok, but I just wanted to clarify that because I think I keep saying Elizabeth Gibson. And then I also have the poems of Elizabeth Gibson on its way to me. I don't know a lot about Elizabeth Gibson, but I do know that she's a queer poet, so I ordered her book from Book Outlet. The next category is to read a book that is a non-coming out story, and I, again, don't believe I have anything on my shelves that fits this, so I will not be reading anything for that. And I also will not be reading a graphic novel because, again, I don't have anything on my shelves that fits this prompt. The next prompt is to read a book that has been recommended by one of the hosts. And now I believe this is recommended by one of the hosts. I'm not sure which one. I don't know how I got this recommendation, but I have it. So that is Wild Beauty by Anna Marie McLemore. Again, I've had this book for a long time. I have most of Anna Marie McLemore's books, but I don't think I've read any of them. So I'm excited to pick that up because I feel like a lot of people have been recommending that recently. The next prompt is to read a book that has bi or pan representation, specifically in a main character. And for this, I'll be listening to the audiobook for I Wish You All the Best by Mason Deaver. This has a non-binary main character as well as a bi main character. I think the love interest is bi. The next prompt is to read a book with a disabled main character, and for this I chose Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I don't have the dust jacket on it, but this book has been on so many TBRs for me, and I started reading it once and I was liking it. Like, there's tabs in here, but I don't remember anything that happened, so I'm gonna have to start over, and hopefully I will finally read this book. And the next prompt is to read a non-fiction book. For this, I chose Long Live the Tribe of Fatherless Girls. This is also on its way to me from Book Outlet. I don't know a whole lot about it, but the title seemed relatable, you know, and I've heard good things from reviews, so I'm gonna pick that up. And then the last prompt for the Queer Lit readathon is to read a 5-star prediction, and for that I chose The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. I just started listening to this last night because I was really excited about it. I'm on page like 40, I'm not very far through, but I definitely think that's going to be a 5-star read. The writing is so beautiful and atmospheric, and it's so fun. So moving on to the next readathon that I plan on participating in, and that is Read Your Gaze, which is hosted by Boston, and this takes place from June 8th to the 14th, and the theme is like queer scouts, so like Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, you know, non-binary scouts, whatever you want to call it. So there's different badges you can earn. The first book that I plan to read is for the prompt for camping, or for the badge for camping, which is just to read a book that is set in the woods. And I don't know how true this is for this book, but I'm gonna go with it. And that is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I don't really know anything about this book. I did start reading it when it first came out. I got to like page 100 and then I stopped, which I guess that's like a common theme in this TBR. But I've been wanting to read this book for a long time. It's on my yearly TBR, and I figured now it's the perfect time. The next two prompts I'm using the same book for, so I'm just going to group them together. The first one is the art badge, to read a book with an illustrated cover, as well as the teamwork badge, which is to read the group book. For that, I obviously chose Felix Ever After by Case and Callender. I have the audiobook out from the library. I literally just last week listened to both of Case and Callender's other books and absolutely love them. I'm really excited to get into this one and like read it along with a bunch of people and hear what everybody else has to think of it. Next prompt or badge is bird watching. Read a book with a bird on the cover. So for this, I will either be finishing Six of Crows, since I'm not confident I will finish it the week before, or if miraculously I do read it, I will pick up The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater, assuming that I finish Blue Lily Lily Blue. I'm like halfway, I might not even halfway through this, it's like about halfway. I'm rereading this series and annotating it, as you can see. So assuming I get through Blue Lily Lily Blue at some point before then, I will be picking up The Raven King. And then for the first aid badge, the prompt is to read a book that's like survival or dystopian, and for this I chose The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. I've had this book for such a long time, and I've recently got really in the mood to read it, so I'm definitely going to pick that up. The next badge is nature. Read a book that's set in nature. For this, I chose Wild Beauty by Anne-Marie McLemore, just because like I just wanted to have some overlap to give myself some, like, you know, leeway with not completing things, because this is a very ambitious TBR. The other two books that are on my TBR that don't count for any readathon, they're just books that I've started reading and I want to continue. The first one is a mammoth, and you are going to think I'm insane for wanting to read like all these other books while also reading this book, but that is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. I've never read a Brandon Sanderson book. I started this book this week. I got to page like 150. I'm really liking it. I have the audiobook and I'm reading it physically, so there's no way I can like get distracted and have an excuse to put this down again. So I'm really enjoying it, and I got really into the fantasy mood again because I was reading a lot of contemporary last month, so I definitely plan to continue with this. The next book that I plan to read that isn't affiliated with a readathon is We Were 8 Years in Power by Ta-Nehisi Coates. This is a short story collection about being black in America, especially during the Obama years. There's 8 stories, one for every year. Short stories, well, I think it's essays. So there's 8 essays, one for every year that Obama was the president, and they all touch on something different. And I love Ta-Nehisi Coates. I started reading this yesterday. I got through the first story, or the first essay, and it's really good. And I just want to pick this up whenever I need like a palate cleanser. The last book I plan to read in June is The Summer of Jordi Perez. This is like the quintessential gay novel. Look, I feel like everybody talks about this, and I've never even heard of it before. So it's on its way to me from Book Outlet. So I'm really excited to pick that one up. And yeah, that is it for this TBR. Let me know if you guys are participating in any of these readathons. Happy Pride. I'm so excited to be here this Pride. So yeah, that's my TBR for the month. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.